Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I am so glad you're here. You guys, you're in for a treat. I sat down with the Sidley twins and we have so much to discuss. We really are breaking down the South Africa trip in this one. This one is especially important to me because this is when my view of Harry and Meghan, Harold and Fraud, completely changed. And so I went back and really did extensive research into this trip. And it wasn't just the nobody's asked me about me that makes it so awful. There's so many components to this. And so we really break it all down. And it became a two-parter. So this is part one, where we go into everything happening behind the scenes. And then in tomorrow's part, we're going to look at some of the clips from this trip. So I'm excited for you to join us in this. Again, a huge thank you to the Sidley twins. You know, I love Nancy and Stephanie. Make sure you're subscribed to them, of course. But thank you guys for being here. Enjoy part one, and we'll see you tomorrow for part two. Today, I'm so excited we have the Sidley twins with us. Hello, triplets.
Hi, Triplet. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. It's always the best to be on your show. It's such a good time. Thank you so much for having us, as always.
Oh my gosh. I'm so lucky that you guys are the greatest. Thank you so much for coming on to talk to me today. Before we even get into this, I have to plug your Never Forget series because I'm enjoying the heck out of it. Tell us what that is and what you got in the works if you can.
You know, I realized there were so many people out there that hadn't seen the Netflix documentary yet, hadn't seen the Oprah interview, and really hadn't followed them. And in my head, you know, I know every single detail from the time they did Oprah to now. And we just want to make sure that the public, that the people that watch our show will never forget why we are all here. And that at the end of the day, these two people were really just gunning for their families and trying to destroy their families to make a name for themselves and to make money. And Nancy's being polite. We're doing it so people never forget how awful Harry and Meghan are. Yes, that's it. We're pulling clips from the past. We're gonna do the Netflix documentary. We're gonna do her little crazy sound bites. We're gonna do some of the Cut magazine. We're gonna talk about the article that she wrote. We're gonna talk about the elder abuse that was going on. We're gonna even talk about the time they went on that little pap walk that Backgrid took them for Project Angel Food back in 2020, wearing their masks and delivering food in Los Angeles, and the paparazzi just happened to be there.
Oh my God.
Them. So all that we're going to cover. So we're going to cover all.
Oh, I'm so excited. Is there a moment you're specifically super excited to cover? Just all of it, going back through all of it.
The Netflix stuff I'm excited about because I never finished it. Stephanie never watched it. So everything I bring, she's really flabbergasted by a lot of things. So
oh my gosh,
that'll be fun. Stephanie's reaction to things.
Oh, I'm so excited to see all that. That's so cool. I can't wait to watch your whole series.
I got the idea from my boyfriend because he doesn't follow any of this stuff. And he was watching our episode of Meghan's plane ride. And I just get this random call from him, and he goes, "Is that real?" He just couldn't believe that somebody would say that. Right. And he's so far removed from this royal gossip. That sucked him in, though. But the fact that he was so like, wait, that can't be real. She didn't really say that. So that's how we're like, wow, if he's being affected by it, then we need to keep this going. So never forget.
Yeah. Oh man, that's it. I have a very similar Jay doesn't care about this stuff, but then he hears stuff like that and he's like, what? How could they possibly? Why do they think people believe them? I'm like, I don't know.
We're exposing them, Jen.
Yes. Speaking of, today I'm excited to deep dive into the South Africa trip. Who could forget that, right? This is personally the reason I wanted to talk about this is what got me interested and their shenanigans. Yeah, I didn't watch it at the time, but after watching it, I watched it pretty close to it, and I just was in shock about their attitude, and we'll get into all of it, but just the antics that went on. And now since we've learned so much more, and I'm excited to dive into this with you guys.
Us too. I am too. It was really, I think, the catalyst that kind of set everything off, where they gave the announcement, right? They gave an announcement on that tour, and it was just,
yeah, there was tons going on this tour. It really is crazy. But yeah, so I went back before talking to you guys to just refresh my memory and read the chapter in Revenge by Tom Bauer. And on my channel, I can't say it like that. I have to say Revenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tom Bauer goes into it, and exactly what you're saying. It was not publicly announced that they were stepping back, but it was already in motion. At this point. So yeah, so this happened. Their trip was September 23rd, 2019 through October 2nd. So into September, beginning of October 2019, they visited Cape Town. We got the pictures with Archbishop Tutu. So I have some pictures ready to go here, and I'd like to start with this one. So here they are touring around, giving speeches. I want you to pay attention to Meghan's makeup here.
Yeah.
Really, there's a reason I'm going somewhere with this. So look at the outfit, look at the makeup, heavy bronze. I mean, just that orange glow that she. Okay.
Prominent.
Yeah. Yes. So the reason I bring this up is because when you start to look at it, she wiped it all off for her interview.
Yeah.
So that way she could appear more victimy. And that's my whole problem with this thing is so much. It's about playing victim. It's about out victiming people who are actually in terrible situations.
Yes.
So just to set the stage, this was, of course, a royal tour. And of course, royal tours are meant to highlight social issues, support charitable causes. It can bring global attention to important matters such as education, poverty-related issues, all that stuff. You can imagine where I'm going with this.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, all we remember from that trip is this moment.
Yes.
This is it. This is it.
Exactly right. Exactly right. It echoes, to me, this is even, I don't know if we can say it's worse, but it might be worse. It echoes what they do at Invictus. Instead of focusing on the veterans, it's focused on them. I have this picture as well. The smirk.
Wow.
I know, right?
Her mask kind of slips here. She was going for the Princess Diana victimhood thing, and her mask kind of slips. That's interesting, Jen. That's a good still.
Whoopsie daisies. Yeah. Yeah, she can't hold it for too long. Yeah, you're exactly right. The mask slipped. I do want to remind everybody, too, everything about this trip was completely offensive. Let me show you this.
Oh, God.
Yes. So this is the, what was it called? The actual name of it. It's called the High Commissioner's Mansion. There it is.
Yeah.
He referred to it as a housing unit.
Beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. I know, right? Beautiful. Living that housing unit. Right?
How disrespectful. But this, Jen, this just goes right back to Frogmore, where she called it too small. You know, this just shows her narcissism. Whatever. This just shows her disrespect towards everyone in that high up position. She wants to be the best. She wants her house to be the best. She's just, I don't think she understands different cultures, because when people invite you into their home, it's a huge sign of honor. Huge.
Absolutely.
And for them to be staying there should have just been a joyous thing, but apparently to Meghan, it's a housing unit.
I just find that, I find that so disrespectful and borderline racist. I mean, just to refer to something like that, it's clearly a gorgeous place. And honestly, I don't care if it's teeny tiny. To your point, if somebody invites you, you teach, kids not to talk like that.
Absolutely.
So why doesn't she know that?
Well, I don't think she was taught manners. Well, she did have a mother growing up. Oh, and I think Thomas was working so much. He was working to support her. It's hard to teach a kid manners if you're not around. I mean, it's hard.
It's still like, I'm sorry, you should educate yourself then,
well, she's so smart, and she's like, she reads books, like Harry said. She speaks French.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. For how many years? She can't remember. It changes story to story.
It went out of her brain.
She took 4 years of French in high school.
Doesn't even remember anything.
Yeah, and then said 8 on the talk show, that Scottish guy, the cute Scottish guy that I can't remember his name's talk show. Yeah.
Man, that's another. See, that's my theory too. Is that why she got out of that family? Because could you imagine if she met anyone from France, like a dignitary, and she couldn't even say hello properly? That's just embarrassing. She got out because she knew she was way in over her head. She's not educated.
I mean, the Queen was giving them, she was vice president of the Commonwealth.
She couldn't speak a language.
The Queen's Commonwealth Trust. I mean, it was obvious what the Queen was going to have them do, and it was a great honor to be part of the Queen. I mean, the Queen's Commonwealth Trust.
But you needed to know some other languages,
and you needed to respect cultures,
and she doesn't do either.
Yeah,
exactly. You're so right. So yeah, of course, the biggest controversy, and there are many to talk about it, this one was exactly what you're talking about. It was this ITV interview. My goodness gracious. So on researching this, let's see here. It says it was just steps away from let's see, a women's shelter where, because this is one of the most dangerous places in the entire world for women and girls. And so it was steps away from a women's shelter, and yet she's making it about herself and her struggles. It makes me not like, I have a visceral reaction to this.
Oh, I'm sure. I think a lot of women do. I think it's extremely triggering where she's faking being abused by the institution, and she's begging for help. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to lie. I've been through some stuff in the past. I'm sure Nancy has. I'm sure everyone has. Maybe Jen, I don't know. But I'm saying there's lots of things that women are really going through. And the fact that she's faking it the whole time is disgraceful.
It's disgusting.
It really is. Yep. I totally agree. It's awful. And thinking about how she preaches on and on about women's empowerment, and this is your chance to actually do good for some women and to help women and children, and uses that opportunity to make it about herself. Incredible.
Absolutely. It's sick.
It's sick. And it's shame on ITV for letting that happen,
I think it happened without them knowing, dude.
No,
and they wanted the ratings.
Bradbury knew what he was doing.
I think
they wanted the ratings. Okay.
I think so too.
Because that is not the point of this trip. It was to, like you said, highlight the region and
but also in this interview, this one, don't you think, Jen and Nancy, that she was expediting the Princess Diana narrative?
Yeah.
She wanted to expedite it. She wanted to do it quickly because she was already out. She wanted to go back to LA.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. And guess what? She didn't put any time in. 72 days is nothing.
Yes.
Exactly. Right. No, I totally agree. And but to your point, when I was researching this, it sounds like this trip was put together by the palace, but also was in help with the Sunshine Sachs. That's when they were still, So it was all a PR move. And according to Tom Bauer, he said it was basically a way to, because their image was trash at this point. So they were trying to build themselves up to make the move to America.
Absolutely. Of course. But that was, I think, in her head the entire time.
Oh, I think so too.
I think she realized really early on, probably before they were even married, that this wasn't the situation she thought it was going to be. No, the press was not going to hound her. That's what she wanted. Yeah. No, they were not going to put her above Princess Catherine. No, she was not going to, be dressed by the same dressers as Princess Diana. I think she realized that. And I think early on, and she just knew, I need an escape plan, and I don't care who I take down to do it.
You're exactly right. I think so too. And I think that it's the playing victim she thought would be her meal ticket, basically. That'd be her escape out. Yep, I think so too.
Now, those eyes. Look at the eyes, Jen.
I'm going to need you both to make this face for me, will you please?
I can't do it with my glasses. Maybe you can do it.
Oh, there you go. The difference is I believe you, Nancy. I do not believe you.
I know exactly.
I don't think I can make that face.
I
know.
I can make this face.
Yeah, I've made that face before. Yeah.
I know, right? Smirky Smirkerson. And I do want to go into exactly what was said in this, but I want to put this in perspective. Think about this. 3 weeks before this took place, they were asked to take Archie to go see the Queen at Balmoral, but their answer, again according to Tom Bauer, was that Archie was too young to fly.
Oh God!
But then 3 weeks later, he's fine to take to South Africa.
Absolutely, yeah. Just all lies.
But see, that's a huge lie, Jen, because they took Archie to France.
Ibiza.
We saw her holding something. Now it could have or could have not been Archie.
Yeah.
But we saw her holding a blanket as she was getting off a private jet.
But Ibiza too, Jen. It was at Ibiza.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought with Elton John, something like that.
That's something on New Year's.
No, that was Nice.
That
was he has a house in Nice.
Okay. We thought
one of those fancy places. I don't know.
Fancy schmancy. That's what I call it.
But none of that is too dangerous for Archie. But going to see Her Majesty the late Queen, too hard, right?
No, I mean, listen, going to the UK now is dangerous, but going to Jamaica is not.
Totally.
We completely see the hypocrisy on all this.
That's right. And that's what keeps me fascinated.
I know, us too.
That is the thing, how obvious she was about it. I think that's what keeps me fascinated as well. It's just so easy to prove.
But I think that therein lies her, again, where's HG when we need him? The narcissism. I think she just thinks she can outsmart the rest of us. And
you also believe it a little bit in your own mind. It's delusional.
Meghan
believes it almost in her own mind. It's like delusional confidence. Like she almost it's like, this is the truth.
Yes. You know? I think so. So Harry, let me tell you what that prick was up to. During this, he was so he was up on stage and presenting to parents that they had a well child event sometime around here, and he was presenting to parents of all kinds of situations with sick children, crying about his healthy child. So to the point where these, again, it was quoted as impoverished parents had to come up and comfort this jackass on stage that's crying about who knows what. You know what I mean? It's great making it about himself. It's what they do. The press were. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was planting the seed in all of us because, guys, I'm going to be honest. They still had me back then. They had me back then as someone like me. I still liked them. I know you didn't never trusted them. Jen, did you? I don't know if you.
This was my shifting moment. I was okay before that. Yeah.
Right.
Are you talking about the Well Child Awards where she wore that green dress? Is that the one?
I don't know. It was just when I was researching this.
Choked up.
I bet that's the same one. Probably.
There's a lot of people that think that Meghan told him to react like that because you can kind of see him trying to act, and then he kind of smirks a little.
I need to go back and watch.
He's a really bad actor. Rewatch it and slow motion it.
She was coaching him.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that he was faking that.
Oh, I need to go back and look at that. I'll definitely
do a reaction video to that. It's
okay. Really, I love it. But I think. Okay, so this was, again, the Tom Bauer book brings it up. I think you're right. It was probably that. And then there was a add-on event in South Africa because it directly related to South Africa where he was giving out maybe grants or something and then making it about himself.
But nobody remembers any of that stuff.
Exactly.
I don't know what the heck he did after that whole ITV thing, and they put out a statement while they were there.
Exactly.
I don't remember anything that happened in Africa.
You're so right. That's exactly it. Now, the other thing I do want to point out, and this is big, is I want to play clips of this ITV thing. If YouTube will play nice, I'll play it here on the channel. If it doesn't, then I'll play it on Patreon. But I am going to play clips. We're going to look at them. But I want to point out that this ITV thing was filmed during, of course, the trip, but it was rushed out 2 weeks later, which would have been the 18th of October. And do you remember why that was? I can tell you.
Tell me.
They were trying to overshadow William and Catherine.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
the Cambridges at that point. The Cambridges were headed to their very, their very first trip to Pakistan.
Yes.
It was a big deal. And it was a big deal. They talk about for British diplomacy, but also it marked a return from maternity leave for Catherine.
Yes.
So it was again, anything to hurt Catherine, Princess of Wales, they tried to do. So
Catherine looked fantastic. Do you remember that shot of them getting off the plane from the back? That's when Masan started copying that. In my opinion,
Sure.
But Meghan fell in love with that shot, just like the whole world did. We loved looking at that shot.
Oh,
beautiful. And Catherine on that trip looked fantastic.
Oh my gosh. I think she had just cut her hair a little bit and she was shining. Beautiful. Yes.
Appropriately dressed.
Exactly. Making it about Pakistan, not herself. Right? Imagine that. But Harry was asked to delay this broadcast. He refused.
Of course.
Anybody shocked? I know.
I remember that. Yeah.
Of course.
That's when I knew. I knew something was
fishy.
It smelled rotten.
I know. It irks me so bad. And then I feel the need to bring that back up because he's sitting here playing victim. Both of them are playing victim in every way they can, including, they always looked out for my brother. No. It's that your brother wasn't an ass and you are.
Well, but Jen, he did it. He was compliant to all this. It's like he really was compliant.
Because this wasn't Harry's first trip to Africa.
No.
And we never had these issues before, Meghan.
Not once.
And he looked happy back then.
Right.
So I don't want to hear this crap that, he's so much happier now that he found his perfect partner. That is such a lie. It doesn't take a rocket science to just type in Prince Harry, Africa, 2014, 2015. Just type it in and you see it. So he didn't have that issue. Okay. I don't want to hear that. And if Catherine and William were in such competition with Meghan and Harry, they had they were above them enough to say, we don't want the name the Fab Four. They were the ones who said Fab Four.
Yeah. They were trying to.
They were the ones who wanted the Royal Foundation to be merged with them. It had nothing to do. Do you think that the Queen made them do that? The Queen knew that Prince William had the final say.
Sure.
She knew that. She knew she was getting him ready to become the Prince of Wales. And that Harry and Meghan let's give Harry and Meghan the Commonwealth. You're right. That's what she was thinking. Not for anyone to believe that Prince William was trying to push him out because they were more popular. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry, I get so angry.
No,
I get angry.
I feel it too. You're right. You're making such good points. They just go back and rewrite history and make themselves victims every time.
The narrative. It's like Harry was not a victim before this. He was not.
Okay. I'm leaving this here for now, but believe me, there's so much more juicy stuff in store for us, including breaking down her actual "nobody's asked me if I'm okay" and more ridiculousness to come. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Stephanie and Nancy for recording this with me. I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this. I hope you have the best day. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.